These plants in these 10-inch pots by Morrison's, which I've all worked out about 10p each, have been started off at the end of August, early September, sown as seeds, obviously in smaller pots. They've all been inspired by Jim growing his carrots and leeks and other things in the pots. I was really into, and still am, into kale at that time, and so I thought I'd give kale a go. And normally kale is a huge plant, but I figured that if I just kept them to a few leaves, I might be able to have a good harvest over the winter. So I did. I had these pots in the greenhouse, and probably about March I took them out and put them in the open air, and they've been doing really well, and they've been, particularly the kale, has been giving me a huge amount. So this kale here, you can see where I've taken the leaves off the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12 round the back. So I had 12 leaves off the bottom of that plant. I've even grown some in some chimney pots up here, and in the spring we had daffodils and snowdrops in those. There's another one over there in that chimney pot which had the same, and again the bottoms of these I've taken off here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, probably about 12 leaves off of here. And if I was to harvest this today, I'd probably take it back to the 3 leaves. So these are ready to have the leaves taken off. I did wonder what would happen if you take the tops out. So I did take the tops out of another one, which is down here. And if you have a look, you can see in here where I took the top off, it sort of sprouted out from the middle. And what's happened is it's made lots of little leaves. So I suppose that's quite nice if you want to have them in, if you want to have kale in salads and things like that, the leaves tend to grow smaller. The other things that I've been growing in the pots are chives, which are down here. I've grown some garlic and also some flat leaf parsley, which has done really well. Some of the kale has started to go to seed, as you can see by the one on the left, and I kept them and just put them in with the rest of the vegetables so that I can save the seed for next year. And I actually think that the pretty yellow flowers are quite nice, quite a nice addition to the garden in the spring when there's not too much about. And these are the potatoes, which I started the end of February in the kitchen in plastic bags, and then when they sprouted I put them into the greenhouse and then put them into the bigger 10-inch pots. This is some mint that I've had growing in a 10-inch pot. I brought that on early in the greenhouse and I've already had half, and that will probably come back up again. But it's been really nice, and I think I'll probably do that again because it's lovely to have an early lot of mint early spring for things like mint and pea soup and just mint teas. It's lovely to have fresh mint. The last thing I've got growing in these 10-inch pots is Good King Henry, and that is a perennial plant, and it's quite vigorous actually, so to grow in a pot is quite a nice idea because it doesn't then spread, and it's probably ready for picking now. You can use it, the young leaves, in salads. It's quite bitter, but you can also use it as a spinach substitute. And it's just a really handy plant to have around, so that looks as though it's going to be very successful in this 10-inch pot. These are my potatoes, which I'm growing in slightly larger pots. Obviously I have got some growing in the 10-inch pots, but these are, I don't know, probably twice the size of those, and they've just gone straight in. You can see they have been hit by the frost, but I think they'll be alright. And in even larger containers I'm trying some parsnips. These were sown probably about 2 weeks ago. I'm not having a lot of success with them. That's one, and I guess a few more might come up soon. These were probably sown about a month ago, so they're looking a little bit better. You can definitely see a few parsnips coming along in those. I am trying these carrots in these pots, but so far I haven't had much success, and I think the answer probably is that I've been using a watering can to water them, and maybe they don't like that. Maybe I should just use a sprayer for the first few weeks. So I'm going to be sowing some more carrots this week, and hopefully we'll have some success with them. This is some broccoli that actually had been just left over from an allotment that I'm helping a friend with, and so I decided to put those in some pots, and I think I will be trying to grow them maybe in the greenhouse this year. I've got a few more to plant out as well. I know that Jim is growing his sweet corn in his greenhouse, and I thought I'd give broccoli and maybe some cabbages or some kale a go. The kale that I grew over the winter did very well. I don't know if you can see that cabbage white butterfly whizzing around there. They're everywhere here, so my thinking is that if I can't net them, then maybe I can get some growing in the greenhouse, and those little butterflies might not be able to get in there, and I don't know whether the whitefly will get in there, but the pigeons definitely won't get in there, so we'll see how that goes this year. I just thought I'd share this idea, which I've been doing for a couple of years now, and that is to make sort of homemade cold frames or cloches out of things that I've just found at the dump or charity shops or car boot sales and things like this. And this is actually, I think, a hamster cage. All I do in the autumn is to just cover it with cling film. Cover the top first with a bit of cling film hanging down the sides, and then just wrap it around the middle. And you can see it's done actually quite well. It's got a few little scores in it, but it has really worked well. And in fact, when I've been trying to grow some things when it's been really cold in the greenhouse, I put them inside the greenhouse. The other one that I've used as a cloche is actually up here, and this I think was a rabbit hutch or something like that, maybe a tortoise pen. It's actually got a flap on one side, and obviously because there's not really much frost anymore, I don't really need it for that. I should be taking this cling film off, but it has done really well, and I then reuse it after using it as a cold frame as a stand for the sprinkler. So the higher your sprinkler is, the more area you'll be able to have covered in water. So I use mine as a sprinkler holder, if you like. I shall take that cling film off, and I'll probably grow something up the side of it, so I'll use it as a mesh for maybe some peas or maybe some beans or something that needs just a little bit of support. This is just a cheap sprinkler, but it's covering all the way from here, the whole of the vegetable area, which is up there if you can see it, and also back into the little bit of garden that I started, which is my Dr. Eden garden. So it's covering all this area really nicely. The potatoes are getting a sprinkling. So are my other ones in the smaller pots. And the compost area, the old compost which I'm growing lettuce and carrots in, and even the kale I think is getting a watering.